Good afternoon, and welcome to Montclair State University's 2018 Graduate School Commencement Ceremony. At this time, everyone should silence all electronic devices. Graduates, please rise as the processional will now begin. Leading the procession is the Grand Marshal, Dr. William Parzynski. He carries the university mace, an ornamental staff symbolizing the president's authority. Now entering the theater are the Gonfaloniers, carrying the college and school flags. The faculty members bearing the gonfalons were selected for this honor by deans of their respective schools and colleges in acknowledgement of their scholarship and contributions to the university. Professor Eric Diamond is representing the College of the Arts. Professor Shala Wunderlich is carrying the gonfalon for the College of Education and Human Services. The Feliciano School of Business is being represented by Professor Ramesh Narasimhan. Professor Sandra Pashir is carrying the gonfalon for the College of Science and Mathematics. Representing the graduate school is Professor Nicole Kopel. Professor Peter Vitzi is representing the College of Humanities and Social Sciences. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Montclair State University President, trustees, officers, and honored guests. And now, we are proud to present our distinguished faculty and staff. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Please welcome the president of Montclair State University, Dr. Susan A. Cole.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. These are the January 2018 Graduate School Commencement Exercises for Montclair State University. I extend a warm welcome to our distinguished guests, our graduates, their families and friends, and the university's faculty and staff. The national anthem will be sung by Evan Fleming, who is an undergraduate student in music education. Please rise.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Evan, and we wish you success in fulfilling your aspiration for a career in music. It is my great pleasure to congratulate all of the graduates. As you walk across this stage today, each of you represents a unique set of aspirations and accomplishments, and your pride will be shared by the family and friends who have joined you this afternoon and who have supported you in many ways through your journey. The successful completion of graduate education is a particularly noteworthy accomplishment, and the 657 students from the August 2017 and January 2018 class who will receive graduate degrees today will join a very special group. Nationally, only about 9% of Americans have earned a master's degree, and less than 2% have earned a doctoral degree. That's right. So while this extraordinary accomplishment should give you much satisfaction, it also gives you a heavy responsibility to use the benefits of your education to make positive contributions to your family, to your community, and the larger world. Education is meaningless unless it is put to use. The intellectual maturity you have gained through your graduate studies has provided you with the grounding to create new knowledge, to apply knowledge to action in the world, and to continue the process of lifelong development and learning. What you will carry of value with you from this place today is not a piece of paper attesting to your degree, but rather the potential and some of the powerful tools you will need to live the kind of life that contributes to the shaping of the world. So this afternoon, we honor your achievements and celebrate with you, but we urge you to remember that your hard work was not just for this day. The point and purpose of it all extends well into the future, and we will all be watching to see where your journey takes you. And now it is time to begin the official ceremony, and to help us do that, a number of special guests have joined us this afternoon on the platform. First, I'm pleased to welcome our distinguished honorary degree recipient, Senate Majority Leader Senator Loretta Weinberg. We also have with us Assemblyman Gordon M. Johnson and Assemblywoman Angela V. McKnight. Members of our Board of Trustees, Chair of the Board George Hiltzik, Vice Chair Dr. Francis Cuss, student members Hassani Council and Sierra Watts, faculty representative Sandra Adams, the university officers, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs Willard Gingrich, Vice President for University Facilities Sean Connolly, Vice President for Information Technology Candace Fleming, Vice President for Student Development and Campus Life Karen Pennington, Vice President for Finance and Treasurer John Rosenheim, Vice President for University Advancement Jack Shannon, and the university deans, Dean of the College of the Arts Daniel Gursky, Dean of the College of Education and Human Services, Tamara Lucas, Dean of the College of Humanities and Social Sciences, Robert Friedman, Acting Dean of the College of Science and Mathematics, Laura Billings, Dean of the Feliciano School of Business, Greg Kant, Dean of the School of Nursing, Jan Smolowitz, Acting Dean of the Graduate School, Brian Carolyn, Dean of Library Services, Judith Lynn Hunt, Dean of Students, Marjorie Coleman Carter. Everybody loves Marjorie. Takes more than a village to get you educated. We are particularly honored to have with us today another very important guest, the President of the New Jersey Senate, Stephen M. Sweeney. Senator Sweeney has been an outstanding and an effective advocate for higher education in New Jersey throughout his decades of public service. As the President of the New Jersey Senate, Senator Sweeney was the driving force behind the passage of the Building Our Future Bond Act, which provided capital funding for New Jersey's colleges and universities for the first time in nearly 30 years. For Montclair State University, that act enabled the construction of the $55 million Center for Environmental and Life Sciences, the $66 million Feliciano School of Business, as well as the complete renovation of Mallory Hall to create a new state-of-the-art facility for computer sciences, which will open this summer. Those new facilities have enabled the university to expand and strengthen its programs in the science and business disciplines, providing a state-of-the-art learning environment for you and for generations of students to come. Senator Sweeney's support was also absolutely essential to the university's recent designation as a New Jersey Public Research University. New Jersey's public higher education has not always enjoyed strong support from the state. So Senator Sweeney's advocacy on our behalf has been incredibly important. as has been his advocacy and leadership on so many issues important to the working people of New Jersey. We are very pleased that he has been able to join us today as we honor his colleague, Senator Loretta Weinberg, and it is my pleasure to invite Senator Sweeney to deliver greetings to the graduates and their families and friends.
Good afternoon, and to the families and graduates, congratulations. I know this is a very, very special day for you, a day filled with pride and excitement with what's to come. And I want to thank Dr. Cole for that wonderful introduction, and it's just impressive what she has been able to do with this university, to grow it from 8,000 or 9,000 to 22,000. It's exactly what New Jersey wants, and Dr. Cole has the vision and leadership to do and continue to make New Jersey a better place. So Dr. Cole, thank you. But I am actually here for a colleague of mine, Senator Loretta Weinberg. Loretta and I have absolutely nothing in common, just so you know. She's from the North, I'm from the South. I'm a fiscal conservative. She's the lioness of liberalism in the state of New Jersey. Some people view me a little bit more as a conservative, but I have to tell you, she is an example for a lot of the young people in this room today of what can be if you choose to stick by your guns and stand for what you believe in. Loretta, nothing came easy for Loretta. She fought for every single position that she obtained in elective office. In fact, as she said, the old guys in the back room smoking cigars, when they heard her name, they used to get sick at times because she wasn't going to accept no for an answer. Did I say that wrong, Loretta? She wasn't going to accept no for an answer, but I got to tell you, and she is still not, no matter what I say nice, she won't let me off of the next issue that we deal with. But this is an example of a person, truly, all kidding aside, of what can be, how one person can change a state, how one person can say, I'm not accepting that, and I'm going to stand for what I believe in, against all odds. You hear those stories, but there are very few examples of leaders that are willing to not compromise their beliefs to ensure that the things they care about get done, that actually get done. So I'm here really in recognition of her, and I tell her this privately all the time, that I love her. And this gives me a great opportunity publicly to say how much I love her as a person and how much better she has made me, because I've grown immensely from listening and learning from her. So Loretta, I want to congratulate you on this wonderful acknowledgement at this outstanding research university. Congratulations to all.
Thank you, Senator Sweeney. No, really, he's a great guy. I now invite George Hiltzik, Chair of our Board of Trustees, to bring greetings and to present our honorary degree recipient.
Good afternoon and welcome. For 86 years, Montclair State University has embraced graduate education and has played a significant statewide role in preparing distinguished professionals. As you know, in the 1930s, Montclair State was the first of the state colleges to offer master's degrees. In the 1990s, we became the first state college to become a university and to offer a doctoral degree. And in 2017, we proudly became a New Jersey public research university with the great assistance of our honorees and our wonderful leader, Mr. Sweeney. These historic changes have transformed Montclair State at every step, establishing and distinguishing our stature as an institution in the fields for which they are being awarded degrees today. You have become part of the history of MSU, and on behalf of the university trustees, I congratulate you and wish you a fulfilling future. It's now my honor to present our honorary degree recipient, and may I ask you to direct your attention to the video screens. I'm supposed to point.
People very often ask me, explain your longevity. I always tell them it's vitamin C and a little bit of hostility.
She's been a very strong advocate for years for women's issues, for minorities, for the LGBT community, and she's a tireless advocate.
I have fought on behalf of victims of domestic violence, on behalf of women, children, people who are too poor or too busy to fight for themselves.
She really does care about the little person who really needs somebody on their side.
The sense of passion that I still have about these issues, it's the thing that keeps me going.
Once she makes her mind up, once she makes a decision that she's going to do something, it'll get done.
If you don't know the rules, somebody's going to use it against you. And if you do know the rules, you can make them work for you.
I have the utmost respect for Loretta because I know that she's in it for the right reasons, and she's very sincere about her legislation and about the efforts to help other people.
And she's tough and she's a fighter, and she believes that government should be open. She believes that the government is of the people.
This is about accountability and transparency. Let's go to bat for the people we represent. This is the time in our world that we need the educated people who are coming out of universities like this to get involved in action, whatever it is that you believe in. My family is very important to me. I love my children, and I particularly love my grandchildren.
Loretta is somebody who really cares about New Jersey and cares about people.
She's a very strong woman that stands for what she says, and she's going to get it done.
Great. Susan's standing next to me to make sure I behave and say everything appropriately. Senator Weinberg, from a personal perspective, my family has been connected to your hometown of Teaneck, New Jersey since the 1950s, and we are all keenly aware of what a caring, dedicated, passionate advocate you have been in both your personal and professional life. You have touched so many individuals to help with their concerns, problems, and always without regard to their race, religion, gender, or economic status. You have truly been an iconic public servant, and so I would like everybody to please rise and give our honoree the great applause that she deserves and merits. I now ask Professor Provost Gingrich and the Grand Marshal to please escort Senator Loretta Weinberg to the lectern.
Thank you very much.
Loretta Weinberg, throughout your career in public service and now as New Jersey Senate Majority Leader, you have devoted yourself to improving the health, safety, and well-being of the people of New Jersey. You earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in History and Political Science from the University of California and a master's degree in Public Administration from Farley Dickinson University. Prior to your election to the Senate in 2005, you served the New Jersey General Assembly for 14 years, where you shepherded legislation to lower the blood alcohol limit for driving and sponsored the New Jersey Smoke-Free Air Act, which prohibits smoking in indoor public places and workplaces. You have sponsored numerous gun violence prevention measures, have been in the lead on have been in the lead on every LGBT advancement in New Jersey through your legislative career, and have been instrumental in expanding awareness of aphasia and shaping a landmark autism research funding bill. Because of your efforts, health insurance companies are now required to pay for at least 48 hours of hospital care for mothers and their newborns. You have been honored by the New Jersey Press Association for your advocacy on behalf of transparency, by the American Civil Liberties Union for your leadership on civil rights issues, and by the National Newspaper Association for your support of the newspaper industry across New Jersey. You have been a dedicated and forceful advocate for Montclair State University and its 21,000 students, and you have been a powerful role model to all who would serve the betterment of society. You've demonstrated through your own determination and persistence that no person has to let themselves be written off, whether for gender or race or age or ethnicity or any human characteristic. In recognition of your courage and your achievements, Montclair State University proudly bestows upon you, Loretta Weinberg, the degree of Doctor of Letters honoris causa.
Thank you, President Cole. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the State of New Jersey and the Board of Trustees of Montclair State University, and upon the recommendation of the President and faculty, I confer upon you the degree of Letters honoris causa with all the rights, duties, privileges, and immunities thereunto appertaining, of which this diploma is the written witness. My great pleasure.
Whew. Thank you very, very much. I've already made arrangements to borrow the scepter for the most appropriate joint session of the legislature this year. I want to thank Montclair State University for this awesome honor. I want to thank Dr. Susan Cole and the great faculty leaders gathered here who have made this university what it is today. I want to thank my legislative colleagues who have joined us, and to the many friends and family who came here today. My family is sitting, and friends are sitting over there, and this is my first edict. From now on, you can call me Dr. Senator Weinberg. Okay, we have to get serious for a moment. To nurture our democracy, we have to be awake, we have to vote, and you not only have to be educated, but you must also be informed and involved. Take an interest in all things political, and understand that you are here to go beyond the spin. Be careful of accepting a new normal. Coarse language, racism, sexism, and misogyny are not normal.
They are the old aberrations. Okay, I got that off my chest, and hopefully in your hearts and minds. This is my first honorary degree, and it's humbling to stand here and accept it in front of actual advanced degree holders. But it's also comforting because I've regularly been practicing law, medicine, and engineering in the state legislature without benefit of licensing or an advanced degree. So now I'm legitimate, and I can be even more of a pain in the butt in the legislature. When I asked my family what I should talk about here today, they told me to confess. Many years ago, I went back to graduate school and completed all my coursework for my master's in public administration. But I actually never went back to write my thesis, so this is a little ironic. But today is about you. You are the gifted and the educated. Take a moment to appreciate how truly privileged and fortunate you are to receive an advanced degree from Montclair State, a renowned research university. Take a moment to reflect on the hard work you put in to get here, and of the friends and family who stood by you emotionally, financially, or otherwise to help you along the way. The love and support of family and very special friends is the basic foundation of personal success. As my family and friends know, for as long as I can remember, I have been driven by a passion to change things. It is true, as the video says, people really wonder how I've done this for so long. And yes, so here it comes. It's 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C, timed release. Don't forget the timed release, with a healthy dose of hostility. My first experience running for elective office was way back in 1972, when I was chosen to be a George McGovern delegate to the Democratic National Convention. And I'll bet most of you have no idea who George McGovern even was. In that presidential election, he won only one state, Massachusetts. But trust me, we were on the right side of history. He ran against Richard Nixon, and we all know how that turned out. For me, as a young wife and a new mom in the 60s and 70s, politics was inclusive, exciting, and meaningful. Activism actually helped end a war and create the beginnings of a new and more just society with the civil rights and the women's movement. But no one ever invited me to join the big boys when it came to running for office. It was obvious that the political system was not going to invite me to play. Over the years, I had worked for many people who in one way or another ended up disappointing me. But finally, in 1990, the stars aligned. There was an opening on the town council in Teaneck. Any Teaneckers out there? My kids were grown, and I knew that if I didn't seize this moment, I'd spend the rest of my years watching others. But it was hardly a normal election. In the middle of the campaign, in celebrated, well-integrated Teaneck, a white policeman shot and killed a black teenager, which led to a mini Ferguson long before Ferguson, and we in Teaneck were in the national spotlight. After I was elected, we had to deal with horrible police relations, marches from people from all sides of the spectrum. But those years were a huge learning experience for me. And I want to tell you the story of a mom friend, an African-American woman, middle class like me, who told me that she taught her sons, children the same age as my children, she taught her sons to hold their money in their hand when they walked into a store so that they would not be accused of shoplifting. This was a shocking revelation to me. It would never have occurred to me that I would have to teach such a defensive move to my children. I thought I knew a lot, but there was so much I didn't know. I had to learn to really listen to people, to face that we weren't as harmonious as we believed, and that diversity in communities need nurturing. So what does any of this have to do with you? First of all, it's all about passion. Figure out what motivates you, or even what makes you angry. What problems do you want to solve? What do you want to teach to the next generation? But perhaps most important, what gives you joy or a sense of purpose, and let those feelings drive you. But understand that there is an art to taking on challenges. I want to fight every wrong I see, but I've actually learned to pick my battles. I've learned with some large degree of difficulty to close my mouth every so often, and that a sense of humor can get me through many a situation, to just stand back and note the funny moments, like standing next to this scepter. I have learned to be patient in waiting out my opponents, like I did when we passed the ban on indoor smoking in 2006, a 10-year odyssey. And I had to compromise way more than I wanted, but it was worth every day of the wait to actually protect people's health. But whether a fight is postponed for the moment or taken on head first, I have a sense of purpose, and that's what gets me up every day to embrace this great adventure. Opportunities might feel scary, but run to them, even if you don't know you're ready. During the times that I felt scared, I took a deep breath and stepped through the doorway anyway. Trust yourself, trust your knowledge, and know that there will be failure, but you will get back up. Go out and be a participant in life. The world needs you. Our country and our democracy need you to get onto the playing field. I need you. And my grandchildren, Shana and Jonah Graff, whom I said I particularly love and underlined love, need you to take your place and to make this a better world for them. Thank you, and congratulations to each and every one of you.
Thank you, Senator Weinberg. As usual, you do not disappoint. With the many hundreds graduating today, you now become an honorary alumna of Montclair State University, and we are really proud to call you one of our own. I now call upon Professor William Parzynski, our Grand Marshal. Senator Sweeney, you need a Grand Marshal.
Just a second.
Yeah, just a scepter, okay. Dr. Parzynski is a member of the faculty in the Department of Mathematical Sciences and has served this university and its students for 49 years.
Thank you, President Cole. It's an honor for me to serve as your Grand Marshal on this occasion. But a greater honor is to introduce the faculty and staff of Montclair State. Would you please rise?
I call upon Provost Willard Gingrich as we begin the conferment of degrees.
President Cole, it is my privilege to report to you that the candidates here assembled who have successfully completed the curricula offered by the several colleges and schools of Montclair State University have been so certified by the university registrar, and they are recommended by the faculty to be awarded degrees in recognition of their academic accomplishments. I am pleased to introduce Dr. Brian Carolyn, the acting dean of the graduate school, to present the university's doctoral candidates.
Thank you, Provost Gingrich. It gives me great pleasure to present the university's doctoral candidates. Will President Cole, Dean Lucas, and faculty mentors please take their places on stage, and will the doctoral candidates stand ready to receive your individual acknowledgement? I call upon Dean Lucas and the doctoral candidates from the College of Education and Human Services. The candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy in Counselor Education: Ashley E. Janasco, hooded by Professor W. Matthew Schertz. Anna Flores Locke, hooded by Professor Dana Heller Levitt. Julia Ruth Mazzarella, hooded by Professor Leslie Koyman. Ebony E. White, hooded by Professor Amanda Baden. The candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy in Teacher Education and Teacher Development: Brenna Demetria Boney, hooded by Professor Suzanne McCotter. Shelley Chisan Kurland, hooded by Professor Jeremy Price. Laura Lee Ripley, hooded by Professor Emily Klein. I call upon Acting Dean Billings and the doctoral candidates from the College of Science and Mathematics. The candidate for the Doctor of Education in Mathematics Education, Mary Lucille Dalton, hooded by Professor Eileen Fernandez. The candidate for the Doctor of Philosophy in Environmental Management, Priscilla Irana, hooded by Professor Pankaj Lal. President Cole, upon the recommendation of the faculty, I have the honor to present these candidates for the degrees of Doctor of Education and Doctor of Philosophy.
Thank you, Dean Carolyn. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the State of New Jersey and the Board of Trustees of Montclair State University, and in recognition of your achievement in fulfilling the curricula prescribed, I confer upon you as earned the designated doctoral degree with all the rights, duties, privileges, and immunities thereunto appertaining, of which the diploma is the written witness. Congratulations, doctors! You may be seated.
President Cole, it gives me great pleasure to state that the members of the August 2017 and January 2018 graduating class of 2018 who have successfully completed the university's requirements for the master's degree stand ready to be presented to you by their deans. Dean Gregory Kant will present the candidates from the Feliciano School of Business.
Will the candidates for the master's degree in the Feliciano School of Business please stand and be ready to receive your individual acknowledgement.
Miguel Morel. Patricio Bernal. Serena Mabubani. Roberta Shannon. Maria Upchurch. Tiffany Ann Rogers. Carlos David Guevara. Ernest Anthony Pereira IV. Alicia Elizabeth Murad. Dara Parikh. Christos Andrikopoulos. Natasha Apia. Alame Samain. Ozan Chakmak. Ryan James Papera. David J. Adams. Walt Andres Sanchez. Abdelaziz Adil Fadah. Craig Andrew Ishel. Abhijit Kavur Pai. Alan Chaco. Richa Girdhar. Tanzila Qureshi. Esther C. Rivarola Espinola, Chunmin Chang, Deniz Özkan, Sanha Choi, Bakima Diallo, Tracy Joy Buckler, Denise Mina, Litsa Ayub, Peter Joseph George, Menard Chachu Chubia, Pinkesh Desai, David Julius Campodonico, Amaya Ratnakar Modak, Nana Ajua Blankson, Neha Chahal, Kenny Delgado, Timothy J. Lynch, Alonda Courtney Alexandra, Gregory Vincent Bartolome, Justina Parker, Matthew Timothy Shea, Nathan Adam Falvo, Matthew Ben Dresnick, Matthew Dominic Picarelli, Mahendra Udit, Sean Ferris, Natalia Dubrovich, Trinka Hati, Eralda Mislin, Leonardo de Almeida, Eddie Campaverde, Michael Naum, Arij Ali Hakami, Jamie J. Acevedo, Romulo Pugka, Aya Abdelhamid Jabber, Francesca Jean Baptiste, Jennifer J. Maxon, Nikki Austin,
Daniel Martinez,
Raymond Capote, Stephanie Lynn Eastlake, Stefania Ruiz, Manuela Lopez, Lucy Zavlaskis, Nora Hoja, Kinga Malinovska, Stephanie M. Tusi, Amanda E. Joinson, Ian Michael Hanauer, Sean W. Schaefer, Stanley Anthony Bukowski, Ajua Aduma Ofori Mensa, Najla Saleh Al-Saleh, Aya Awad, Magdalena Carolina Bielen, Brian Bednars, Christina Monique Jean-Baptiste, Karina Para, Christopher Curran, Patrick Whitaker, Angies Hernandez, Yuri Medlinov, Lee Robert Castro, Andre Anthony Sigismondo, Daniela Panzera Cambereri, Cassine Goulburn, Paul Jusden, Tanvir Chowdhury, Kobe Zalait, Daniel S. Zerpa, John Francis Newman, Samantha Fitzpatrick, Samuel Jacob Shalom, Thomas Joseph McCabe, Vincent John Bilello, Gia Garcia, Olsi Muscaj, Larissa Desir,
Dean Daniel Gerskis will present the candidates from the College of the Arts.
Will the candidates for the master's degree in the College of the Arts please stand and be ready to receive your individual acknowledgement?
Justin W. Crampert. Matthew Edward Nunes.
Wei Dai.
Matthew M. Scoris. Lawrence Joseph Budden. Tara Lynn Davis. Christopher Joseph Bobbins. Stephanie Elizabeth Shoppy. Ermine Melissa Bartay. Chloe Samantha Ribeiro. Chi Jun Koo. Maya Alexis Artis.
Acting Dean Laura Billings will present the candidates from the College of Science and Mathematics.
Will the candidates for the master's degree in the College of Science and Mathematics please stand and be ready to receive your individual acknowledgement?
Nicholas Anthony Rios. Su-Ang Chow. Ray Lee. Kavita Nikhil Joshi. Palak Pratik Patel. Shrihita Gadaparthi. Shweta Surati. Surya Mohan. Nirav J. Kodadia. Janu H. Barot. Hiral Vashi. Jose H. Villagomez. Brian Liu. Mohammed Kabani. Charles Harker Nelson. Susan Abigail Wamanchumo. Andres Munoz. Ruksar Sultana. Eric Mota. Renee Marie Rafis. KKA Nipuni Na Malika Pereira. Sriya Basupali.
Taylor McFarland. Michael J. Levinson.
Adam Fernandez. Camila Yvette Lopez. Jonathan Ortiz. Yegya Sambolian. Anoop Kanal.
Dean Tamara Lucas will now present the candidates from the College of Education and Human Services.
Will the candidates for the master's degree in the College of Education and Human Services please stand and be ready to receive your individual acknowledgement?
Ruth Goldstein Hernandez. Kurtai Davida Dunmore. Catherine Rivera. Alyssa Michelle Young. Lisa Olivia Delaney. Roseanne Anita Robinson. Ellen Youssef. Emily Marie Mattioli. Kelsey Jordan. Alexandra Marielle Sturm. Jacqueline M. Slejeski. Kimberly Elaine Teschmacher. Michelle Ann Mao. Sean Paul Trupo.
Jonathan Jeremiah Tochinsky.
Christine Roque Jimenez. Ahlam Yassin. Francis Ahmad Abushi. Michael Green. Bianca Page Gallagher. Brian P. Santowski. Nicole Eva Godenzi. Kelly Elizabeth Grace Venezia. Samantha M. McIntosh. Jesse Abreu. Zinzi George. Jennifer Bennett. Marielle Elizabeth Smoller. Lindsay V. Maurer. Stephanie Iyubi. Miriam Eliafifi. Rory Kathleen Coleman. Solange Ortega. Karen Irene Carter. Brianna Shea Sarapachillo. Christina Dolores Chavello Lunardoni. Lara Schmidt. Caitlin Elizabeth Austin. Danielle Elizabeth Mann. Tina Nicole Lunkenheimer. Kristen Lynn Dalcortivo.
Asem Al-Shamur.
Danielle Rose Zaintz. Melissa J. Wells. Ashley Gayed. Bianca Hitman. Ariel Jamie Sherris. Dasharay Dominique Thomas. Lisa Senruckus. Mike McLean. Natasha Mitrasachi. Jiao Liang Huang. Saima Farouk. William Bush. Natasha Garrett. Gina Acosta. Deborah Ann Reese. Lauren Lee Hosanitz. James Harrison Tatum. Laura E. Holzapfel. Cynthia Elaine Brower. Jessica Cicerone. Laura E. Frey. Lauren Michelle Salvatoriello. Kara Ann Banny. Michael Ponce. Tiffany Nicole Tukmanian. Kellyanne Goodhand. Alyssa Marie Roquini. Chelsea Marie Clark. Sarah Santos. Abigail Florencio. Alexandria Ashley Bardee. Josemily Elaine Fernandez. Asha Daly. Wanda Nicole Dixon. Meredith Maluk. Katina Telemac. Bonnie Crane Ashenbrand. Tanisha Marchand. Kashinda Terry Kellum. Brendan Eugene O'Shea. Justin R. Matthias. Samantha Lynn Manella. Vani Nektar Apanosian. Victoria Marie Bisheglia. Irina Shatovsky. Michael Anthony Melvin. Michelle Ann Mitchell. Lauren Finch. Tara Marissa Perchuk. Megan Ashley Rosario. Paula Denta. Gabrielle Lombardi. Justine Marie Curran. Maria Christina Roof. Sally Ann Howell Rembert. Nadia Suarez. Sharon L. Pryor. Allison Vidal Caravano. Rebecca Mary Sutherland. Carrie Jane Graham. Erin Michelle Becker. Megan Veronica Burhenny. Jane Zubak. Samantha Rose Belfie. Allison M. Ditzig. Jennifer Kravitz. Nicole Maria Corrado. Brianna Boland. Samantha Victoria Salimo. Brianna Lynn Kelly. Catherine Rose Smallman. Teresa Erin Canone. Megan Rose Butler. Angela Esther Andrews. Jeffrey David Brick. Nicole Michelle Fabiano. Ibtisam Etumusa. Ashley Ann Natiello. Lauren Jacqueline Fowler. Anthony Salvatore Di Stefano. Rachel Elysian Ruth Williams. Amira Faradin. McKenna Irie Bird. Elisabel Reyes. Lauren Egan Schneckloth. Kapil Chandra Roy. Jennifer Lauren Spinner. Carolina James. Megan Ruth Reiser. Thuraya Walid Zidan. Matthew David Rosa. Megan Patricia Durkin. Lena A. Oma. Chantal Difna Rivers. Joseph Thomas Toth. Christine Bouchon. Gabriella Milady Fink. Carly Marcinkowski. Hannah Alexandra Heyman. Rosemarie DiStefano. Gabrielle Ann Bereski. Stephen Revis Dickerson Jr. Mark Mautone. Christopher Thomas Sheridan. Andrea Delafave. Christine Rose Caradonio. Megan Elizabeth Henley. Rosa Rizzi. Monica Tallarico Inholson. Jessica Gutierrez. Danielle Rose Lacuna. Grace McLaughlin Berry. Rose Trabuco. Katie Zarco Cardoso. Jessica Fan. Chiara Julia Baron. Amanda Hager. Megan Ann Cleaver. Erin Emily Bruce. Emily Anderson. Justin Michael Valenti. Matthew Joseph Cubza. James William Soma. Brett W. Jankos. Lauren A. Russo. Desiree Christine Pena. Jesse Thomas Herbert. Joseph Caparella. Jasleen Othman. Carolyn Nickel. Melissa Ann Moore. Rosanna Napolitano. Ayana Harriet Way. Laura J. Koshel. Donna Moslehi.
Dean Lucas will now testify concerning the certification of members of the class to teach.
Will the members of the class of 2018 who participated in a teacher preparation program please rise? President Cole, it gives me great pleasure to state that these graduates have successfully completed their academic degrees, a professional sequence, and the appropriate examination, and are certified and qualified to teach in the public schools of the state of New Jersey.
Thank you, Dean Lucas. Future teachers of New Jersey. Congratulations. Please be seated.
Dean Robert Friedman will present the candidates from the College of Humanities and Social Sciences.
Will the candidates for the master's degree in the College of Humanities and Social Sciences please stand and be ready to receive your individual acknowledgement? Among the graduates from the College of Humanities and Social Sciences, I want to call to your attention our first degree recipient, Victoria Rose Whiteman, who sadly passed away before she could reach this day. Her master's degree in psychology is being awarded posthumously today, and I want to say to her parents who are here with us today that we were privileged to have had Tori as part of our community. I would ask her father, Bob Whiteman, to step forward and accept Tori's diploma.
Will the candidates for the master's degree please rise? No. Candidates for Humanities and Social Sciences.
Anna Victoria Ventura. Dwayne Walker. Josefa Gonzalez. Sandra M. Ospina. Sharon Lynn Smith Pigeon. Julian Miracola. Ariana Marie Ventura. Samantha Lee Schwartz. Victoria Ann Giacalone. Francesca Ilardi. Melissa Beth Lopez. Sarah Elizabeth Manzon. Allison Nicole Gorlick. Emily Catherine Spizzanti. Kelly Margaret O'Hanlon. Rebecca Danielle Frank. Melissa Rose Coslow. Serene Gokul. Julie Elizabeth Pate. Kelsey Marie Fisher. Lauren Joanna Duffy. Caitlin Fitzpatrick. Jessica Teresa Casera. Jillian Mary Van Brunt. Kelsey Marie Welsh. Monica Limer Goodrich. Elizabeth Leslie Nywood. Kelly Monet Van Pelt. Allison K. Keegan. Nicole M. Matos. Erin Michelle Roll. Nicole Elena Shutman. Bruce Jason Griffin. Raphael E. Aus. Gary P. Portugal. Erin Kathleen Kaiser. Alicia M. Jenks. Rachel Lourdes Ramos. Doris C. Key. Devonna S. Lewis. Bernice Cecilia Arabina Wilson. Rachel M. Herrick. Kristen Michelle Sanders. Katharina Saccato. Stephanie Almanzar. Mary Elizabeth Brucio. Courtney Allison Huff. Marlene S. Hinostroza. Wafa Allen. Carrie Noel Gurnis. Shante D. Singletary. Evelyn Paz Garcia. Jeanette L. Sims. Rebecca Anita Wallace. Cara Robertello. Jessica Therese LaForgia.
Now, will all the candidates for the master's degree please rise? President Cole. President Cole, I am pleased to present the candidates who have qualified for the degrees of Master of Arts, Master of Fine Arts, Master of Arts in Teaching, Master of Education, Master of Business Administration, Master of Public Health and Master of Science.
You want those degrees? By virtue of the authority vested in me by the State of New Jersey and the Board of Trustees of Montclair State University, and in recognition of your achievement in fulfilling the curricula prescribed, I confer upon you as earned the designated master's degree with all the rights, duties, privileges, and immunities thereunto appertaining, of which the diploma is the written witness. Congratulations, masters. Please be seated. This concludes the Montclair State University commencement exercises. We thank you for sharing this day with us, and I would ask everyone to remain seated until the recessional is complete. Congratulations, students.